Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're dissecting a massive, viral blueprint for young entrepreneurs created by Mark Tilbury. We're going to look at exactly how his strategy claims to crack the code of the modern digital economy.
$10,000 a month. Just think about that for a second. This is the massive financial milestone we're anchoring to today. For a lot of you watching, this isn't just a number, right? It represents true financial independence. It's that magic threshold where you finally gain the ability to control your own time, fire your boss, and basically build a life entirely on your own terms.
Now, what's really fascinating about this specific strategy is the sheer amount of social proof behind it. Over 2.4 million people have watched Mark Tilbury outline this exact approach. I mean, that's enough people to fill dozens of football stadiums. It tells us this isn't just some fringe out there idea. It's a highly demanded, deeply validated framework for anyone looking to seriously scale their income as we march toward 2026.
So, here's our agenda for today's explainer. First, we've got the route explained. Then, phase 1, consume. Next up, phase 2, apply. Followed by phase 3, educate. And finally, start your journey now.
All right, jumping right into section 1, the route explained, a blueprint for 2026. Look, making money online as a beginner can feel completely chaotic, kind of like trying to solve a giant puzzle without the picture on the box. But Tilbury's blueprint cuts through that noise with a very distinct 3-phase strategy. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact backbone of the whole method. It boils down to a very deliberate progression: consume, apply, and educate. It's a strict step-by-step sequence designed to operate like a well-oiled machine to get you to that $10,000 a month mark. You really can't skip a step here if you actually want to see results. Which brings us to section 2, phase 1, consume. This is the absolutely critical first step of your journey.
You know, people often think starting a business begins with filing LLC paperwork or buying some fancy domain name. But actually, real wealth building starts way before that. It starts with what you consume. We're defining consume here as the act of strategically absorbing high-value information, book summaries, and skills rather than just passively watching entertainment. There's a huge point of friction here for a lot of folks. If you're scrolling on your phone just for a quick laugh, you are literally burning the exact raw material you need to build your financial future.
So the fundamental habit shift required here is replacing entertainment with education. The source specifically highlights tools like Shortform, which gives you these incredibly concise book summaries. By tapping into resources like this, you can massively accelerate your learning process. It's almost like downloading the knowledge of leading experts straight to your brain in just a fraction of the time. But hold on, let's pull back to our roadmap for just a second. All the knowledge in the world, every single book summary, every tutorial, every explainer you watch is completely useless unless you move to the next step and actually step into the arena. Just taking notes simply isn't going to cut it. And that leads us perfectly into section 3, phase 2, apply. All right, this is where theory gets aggressively transformed into real-world practice. Applying means taking that hyper-focused knowledge you just consumed and actively using it to build a real-world project or storefront. This is the classic roll-up-your-sleeves phase. It's the exact moment where you, the entrepreneur, begin actually constructing the vehicle that's going to drive your income. Now, applying your knowledge looks very different today than it did even just a few years ago. First, you got to pick a clear business model. Next, you leverage modern AI tools. Then, you launch an online storefront. And finally, you test, fail, and iterate quickly. What really stands out about the landscape heading into 2026 is the sheer speed of execution. I mean, the source notes how beginners can now use AI to launch a fully built Shopify store in less than 2 minutes. No way, right? But it's true. The technical barrier to entry has basically vanished.
Bringing our 3 steps back up, there's a really common pitfall here. A lot of aspiring entrepreneurs stop right here at phase 2. They build a store, maybe they figure things out and make a few hundred or even a few $1,000s, but then they hit a ceiling. So let's move forward and see how this builds into the final and definitely most lucrative step of the blueprint. Welcome to section 4, phase 3, educate. This phase is essentially the secret lever you pull to truly scale beyond that initial income ceiling. It's all about packaging your newly acquired experience and proven results to teach others the exact same process. You're fundamentally shifting your identity here. You go from being strictly a practitioner to becoming a teacher. Think of it like this. You've navigated the maze, you've found the cheese, and now you're selling the map of your own success.
The absolute key here is monetizing your proven expertise. And proven is definitely the operative word. You must achieve real, tangible results in the apply phase first. You absolutely cannot skip straight to educating without credibility. It's only after you've walked the walk yourself that you can ethically and highly profitably show others how to do the exact same thing.
And that brings us to our final section, Section 5. Start your journey now.
So bringing this all together, Tilbury's strategy relies on a very specific toolkit that maps directly onto our 3 phases. For phase 1, consume, it utilizes short form. For phase 2, apply, you've got Shopify. And for phase 3, educate, there's Kajabi. What's super fascinating about this lineup is that the upfront financial risk is largely removed through free trials and free AI store builders. You literally have the map and you have access to the exact tools you need to get started right this second without breaking the bank. The blueprint to that $10,000 a month mark is structured and it's proven. So, the ultimate challenge for you is this. What is the very first piece of knowledge you will consume and apply today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope it sparked some genuine curiosity. Now, go out there and start building.